There was that. That is true. That was making it a little
That was a true story. That was
very
kind of
true.
funny.
It
No, but
was.
um, yeah. Ultimately, we went into the place. We spoke to the guard captain. We paid too much money to get into the city. We spoke to
It's
the
true.
guard captain guy who took us to the king, or emperor, god emperor of this area, who we spoke to a bit, and then we have a place set up, but we also need a translator, so we're getting the daughter of, I think, the guy who died, right? Something like that, who we're gonna hopefully be able to do stuff with, and then on the way there, we got jumped by some um Thieves Guild peeps. So, not Thieves Guilds, but Slavers Guild peeps. That's at a high level.
That's true. All
Sounds
right.
good.
And
We're in the city.
you guys were going. Do you remember where you were going to, and what you were going for, or any of that stuff?
We were going to.
I know we were gonna take a day or two to like get some shit.
But you were looking for basically you were gonna get like a guide or somebody to help
Oh
you.
yeah, we were going to the docks to.
Yep, near the docks. Yeah, you were gonna meet up with.
Well, Jung's daughter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we also have a rabbit's ear that, maybe is a thing for red-haired gnolls if we need to do something. So it gives us a
Right.
backup for that.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
and then we have a ret for certain things. Yada yada yada. So we're getting that to help us around the town, and I think we're trying to be as disruptive as we can. I think with some of the organizations that are about.
Well, you
Right.
inadvertently are going to. Um,
Well, we think we want to get the girls out too, possibly, or whatever that is. Though
well, yeah, you're going to
they have to get.
basically disrupt the slaver. If you can disrupt the slaving thing, that will then, if the slaving, if the slavers' external support is weakened, then the slavers themselves will be weakened. If they're weak enough, then Solfis can kind of rein all that back in and deal with the last. Solfilis can deal with the last like usurpers in his kingdom, the biggest usurpers in his kingdom, and kind of maybe probably do something. But right now, anything directly would blow up in his face because their supporters are too powerful. So if those can be weakened, things can change. So, and you have a ledger of high-profile deliveries to obviously then probably draw the ire of the leadership. You guys do know where the leaders are. You have that the three things that what's his name told you.
Yeah, I think I was trying to.
Lyle told you the three.
Yeah, the three heads were in their places of extreme darkness. There was Mistress of Mizzen. I don't know, is that in a like a script thingy here? Sometimes you have good note thingies here that are relevant. Did we have that somewhere here?
There is a script thing. I don't know that I have one shared with you. I have one, there's
Oh, okay.
an abandoned church that's full of faith, a place of extreme darkness but overwhelming light, and then the drow mistress of House Miraturin is well, I mean,
Abandoned church full of faith?
yep,
And then a what?
a place of extreme darkness but overwhelming light, and then the drow mistress of House Miraturin. There was no. There was like a riddle about like or a thing about like the plucking like the spider that pulls the threads from the deepest
Right.
darkest dwelling. And it's just like okay, it's you guys know that. You guys know the house Bertram's involved. You got their armor. You've dealt with their troops. So it's more. It's that
Right.
one points directly to her. The other
Right.
two, you're not quite sure what those mean.
Yeah. But place of extreme darkness, but perpetual light?
Place of extreme darkness but overwhelming light.
Overwhelming light.
An abandoned church is full of faith. So you guys were moving your way into this district over here to find Fiona's house. You had rough directions, I guess, and eventually you end up on a path down an alley that seems to be not as heavily trafficked as others. and as you begin moving down, you see one weird handwritten sign in giant that no one speaks, and
Really
it
fun,
looks. I guess, for lack of a better term, it kind of looks like. Actually, go ahead. Everyone, go make insight checks. I'll do that. I'll give you an insight check on how to interpret a sign. This is really loose.
This is desperation.
Like,
Crying at 13. Oh, and you guys are prepped for your level up, right? Did you guys actually do it yet with your characters?
Yeah, I did.
But
pretty
it'll
strong.
take effect when you guys get a
Well-
long rest in. But
Yeah, mine won't take long, I think. But I think with hit points and stuff, I didn't. So, because I got beat the fuck up, and I think I forgot. So, I apologize.
and Jason, are you gonna do an insight check, or do you need me to roll it for you? There we go. Never mind. Wow,
What was
Domino,
that?
you're like.
It's the
Now, the only
worst.
thing I'll say is with skill checks, 1s and 20s don't mean extremes in skill checks. So that is just the least number you could possibly roll, which isn't good. Balden, the way they're written, it looks panicky. Like somebody wrote this note with some urgency. So you would take that to mean some sort of warning. And then as you get down, there's a small little house, like a little brookstone, one entrance, no visible windows at the end of this alley, and there is just like nothing nearby.
That looks like a trap. I think you're muted, Jason.
No, I just went duh.
Didn't hear it.
Didn't hear
But
it, yeah.
anyway. All right.
Can you hear me?
I'm going to take a look around.
Can you not hear me?
We can hear you now.
hear you.
We had a moment when you
Ow.
were gone, but you're back now.
Okay.
Okay, you
I'm going to start scanning like the rooftops and
go ahead
you know,
and make a perception check. As you look around, you don't see anything out of place. It's just eerily quiet down this part of the alley. And you look up and you see, the roof is flat. It looks well kept. And then you kind of realize that the roof is stone. To the house in front of you. And the walls are all brick and stone. And there's no windows that you can discern.
Can I use my stone cutting ability to tell, like, the way that this stone and everything's been architectured and everything? Does this look like someone made, like, a defensible position? Like, does this look like a bulwark?
Okay,
or does
sure.
this just look like a house?
So you're basically trying to, like, what was the intention of the builders when they're putting this thing together? But go for it. Yeah.
All right, so this will have a +6 on it.
Okay.
Damn, I'm bad at stoneworking.
Today,
Characters.
it's just like you were like too focused looking around. The stone looks like it was worked by less refined hands than dwarven hands, so you're having a hard time determine what their purpose might have been. It could have been like a cage. Could be something for defense. It is defensible. It's also just not very visually appealing. Like if you're going to build something like this from a dwarven perspective, you need to be practical, but also have a bit of style, right?
Yeah. And just like, do you see that? They used an arch overlay when we all know that that's not the preferred method.
Yeah.
You would definitely want to do an undercut there. But, jeez.
Yeah. And
Sloppy craftsmanship.
it is. It looks very sloppy.
Well, the good news is I'm not going to die here. The bad news is whoever built this might. Like, I'm not going to die here because I'm definitely not going to die to someone who made something so awful.
Does it look like it was like done? Is it like a recently thing?
Nothing looks recent. This looks like it's been here for a while.
Okay.
All right. I'll enter the little area.
Okay, you walk up and
Cautiously,
you're,
but-
yeah, you enter like this little kind of thing. You're pretty much right in front of the door. Like walking up and looking around and looking at the brick, I basically would put you kind of close to the door of the place. So nothing like sprung up on you. The ground seems safe.
Hello.
You hear the sounds of like faint music from inside the room, inside the building. Very faint because the walls are seemingly kind of thick.
I'll look back at Nimbles. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe you want to go talk to people or something. Like, not really my scene.
This is I guess I could just go into that room, Mike. I guess I'll
So
just.
you go to the door. This is someone's house.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
So
I'm sorry. Apologize. I
That's
heard
all
that
right.
there were people. I guess I'll just give it a knock.
Okay. There is. Your passive perception is what, Jason? 20. What is it again?
18.
Okay. Let me do this real quick. Actually, let's do this real quick. Oh no! Don't grab that. Dang it, Mike. Dang it! Stop grabbing stuff like that. Stop. Stupid game. Let's see here. Group check. I'm gonna have you guys make perception checks. All right, Lucky Star, Balden, Nimbles, Atlas, and Alley. Okay, sorry, everyone basically but Domino, because I got a 12 on your perception check. I have this massive check runner. It's so cool. Anyway, I guess I could probably not hide the rolls to you guys. You guys hear like this faint sounds of like a chair moving. I mean, it's hard to hear because that door looks like it's really thick, and you realize this is the walls. And then after a bit, there's a very quiet female voice. It says, "Is someone out there?"
Well, I'll say it sounds like you have good ears. We are looking for someone's home in this area of town, and hope perhaps maybe you could give us directions.
Um,
We didn't have her name.
yeah, you did. Don't remember her name?
I don't remember her name. I just have Jung's daughter.
It was Fiona.
Fiona. That's right.
Um, yes. What place are you looking for?
We're looking for Fiona, the daughter of Jung.
Jung's not here. He's deployed.
Are you Fiona?
Who is asking?
We were friends of Jung.
You don't sound
We're
like
comrades.
friends of Jung.
I kind of look at Ryan and stuff and whisper. I'm like, I guess nobody let her know. It's a dick move.
Your brain that to her. Like he's having you do that. He's having you deliver that. Like,
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, okay. We do. Yeah. I'll say. I think we have some things to tell you, but I think it's best if we do it face to face.
Okay.
And I'll try to nicely say it, I guess, and make myself sound non-intimidating. I don't know if that's even a
Go and
thing.
make a persuasion roll. This is just to see how successful more necessary than like an actual.
Sure. Yeah, I know. I gotcha.
You're not gonna really fail this. Okay. The door begins to kind of creep open a little bit, and I don't know if you remember like how in Lady Hawk when Michelle Pfeiffer like had like the thing over, so like her face was still kind of hidden, like she's in a cow. But you can see there's some palish green skin underneath there. She's definitely a lot smaller than you would have thought, being a ogre's daughter. And you realize the door is a lot smaller than it should be. And she kind of, like, she says, "I am Fiona."
I think she's Fiona, Mike.
You can try an insight check that. See if you
Yeah.
can beat her deception. Just kidding. You feel like she's not deceiving you.
Okay.
She seems genuinely assuming the identity of Fiona.
I will whisper quietly, I guess. I will say that we were sent on behalf of the Emperor to pass along first, I think, the information of your father's passing in fall, and I have this writ as well to
She, as soon as
confirm
you say
that.
kind of get to passing, she kind of falls into the room. Like she just kind of pulls back, and it's almost like you struck her. The door kind of falls open, leading into the room. I'm gonna make the assumption the party's just gonna enter the room,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just to make things kind of move along a little bit. And she is sitting on the edge of a bed, and just kind of
Is it just a small room?
It's like it's
Like
one.
a single room, just
Can you
like
see
one.
the room? It's one big room, basically. It's like a table, blah, blah, blah. There are two beds, but nothing looks like it's sized for like an ogre in here. It's all very small. There's no windows in this room. There are no. There's a mirror, but the mirror's got a big covering on it. And she's now sitting on the bed in a dark brown cowl, just kind of just not weeping, but she looks just really stunned, and she just kind of like. Mouth slightly agape is looking at you guys. You guys pour into the place, and I think the donkey just gets left outside. Tell you what, I'm gonna leave Lyle and the donkey outside, and Atlas because he's gonna protect Lyle, and his head hurts, and he's done.
Hate that guy. You know, he could at least speak giant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He could go back and just speak giant.
And I meant to say that you do hear sounds from outside the place as well. They're probably a little too loud, actually. But, like, on the other side of the wall is in other parts of the alley, but this alley itself is empty. So I think these sounds are too loud. But,
On the game, the sounds
Yeah.
are.
so and there's obviously no more music because and she's just sitting there. She's like I said, just looks kind of stunned, just sitting on the edge of this bed, just head down.
I guess that's me. I'll just. I guess I'll just kind of go and maybe nicely put a hand on her shoulder or something.
Okay, so if you move closer to her. Okay. I hate when the
And
NPCs make
I'll
these
just
steps
say
and
if it
stones.
means anything, he basically fought to. He fought in his emperor's. Mind and to help in his emperor's. He fought. For his emperor and for the people around here and help save our lives.
When you put your hand on her shoulder, her head whips up at you kind of quickly, and you notice something really odd about like her hair seems very funny the way it moves, and there's a moment where her eyes look like dead, like straight into your eyes, and your eyes looking straight into you. Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw with advantage.
That's the best I can do.
Nice. You felt a strained moment of all the limbs in your body going super tense and tight, and as if your skin was becoming solid stone. But you like have a moment where it shakes it off, and she averts her gaze real quickly, and she puts her head like down at your hand and puts her other hand on top of your hand, and she says, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got emotional.
I guess I'll say, what was that? I mean, what was that?
Ryan takes a seat at the table. I'm eating some grub. What you got?
No, he's looking at them, but he's just sitting down. He's
Yeah,
like,
that's fine, yeah.
like, my back hurts.
I'll join you.
I'm gonna have to stay.
That sounds good. Yeah, she looks kind of back up at you, but her eyes don't seem to be as intense right now. And then that's when you notice the reason that her hair seems weird is her hair is basically a bundle of snakes. And oh, that's wrong. Nope, that's wrong again. Why is it doing this? Why is it doing this? Sorry, the game's doing something. There it is. You can kind of see it there a little bit.
Medusa.
She does seem to. Yes, she has that quality. And now I don't know how familiar your character is with Medusas in general or any of these creatures. So, but she's looking up right at you, and you're looking at her face, and you don't feel that happening again. She says, It has been a while since anyone's been near me, and you're bringing really terrible news. I don't know. Can you tell me? Can you sit with me and tell me how he died and what happened?
Yeah,
You do have the
talk.
writ. You have like his badge.
Yeah.
You had that stuff to give her from. And
Yeah.
remember, yeah.
Yeah, I'll hand that to her first, and I'll say maybe while I talk about this, you can look through these things,
She does.
and give you somewhere for your, for your eyes to look instead of me.
Did you actually say that? Do you say that?
No, but I say here's something. Yeah, here's something you can
Okay.
look through while I talk. But obviously keeping that last part to myself. But
Okay.
that's kind of part of the reason, right? So in the event that whatever. So and I'll recant. I'll talk about the story of us coming out of the cavern, and being around him, and then the other people there and the friction, that was there, but how he was very very strongly opposed to treating anybody like slaves, and then the attack on the road, and how he stood against the others and helped drive away everybody, I think, right, except for one person who got away, who
Yeah.
I've sworn vengeance upon, as I felt like I grew very close to her father fairly quickly in our bonding of eating rotten meat, but of course phrase that a little differently. So
Gotcha. She
just
seems like she doesn't. Okay, wait, go. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll just look over at Allie. I'm like, is he going to mention that he got gutted, by like a demon thing?
Yeah, I don't think she's going to tell him that part, or he probably.
He asked how he died.
Well,
He
I
died.
know, but if that's her dad, and I'm really concerned about this lineage, because what was mom? But anyway, I think, probably you want to just, ease into it. Not everyone has the dwarf sensibility or hardiness to handle such harsh news so directly. And she seems to be a little bit sensitive.
Oh.
I'm just saying. I think he's handling it really well, though. Look.
Or someone with
Yes.
snake head. They're awful sensitive.
It's kind of weird, Jason, because or somebody might take their hand and use it to push back their hair behind their ear. Her hair thing just kind of moves and curls and then goes back behind her ear on its own, and you can see it underneath the cloak because it's a snake. So
snake.
And then she looks over at you a couple times, but she keeps her gaze generally down. She's like, "Yes, I that sounds like him. That does. My goodness. It is if it's Eureka." No, you don't have to. You're good. You're good.
No, I didn't mean to actually do that. Where's that clock? Whose clock is
It's
that?
Ryan's clock, I think. We had this last time.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. And she reaches over and she puts a kind of a hand on your hand, and she says, thank you. I know. I feel like I owe all of you for bringing me this news. I know it can't be easy. I don't really see people very often, or ever. My father was the only one who would come visit me, but even he could only stay so long. Yes.
Not to be whatever, but so not too many people know that. And sorry if this isn't personal, that he is your father. Then are you not well known in that regard?
There are some that know that I'm his. He's not my father, right? I don't know if that's clear. And then she does it. She kind of pulls the cloak back, and then the snakes kind of pull down and whatever. And you see that she's got she's more fleshy. She's not scaly at all. Her skin is green and greenish, but she's all flesh, not. She actually has kind of more a Yuan-Ti quality to her than really the Medusa quality. The snakes in the hair thing, though, is a pretty big indicator of Medusa. And she says, yeah, but when he saved me, he brought me here and took me under his wing. And yes, but most people don't get past the sign.
Well, that's if you are willing to help us, that is, if you're willing to, I don't want to call any additional action on your part, but we were sent here because, I think because of our connection to your father, but we obviously we don't belong,
Wilma and
right?
Lucky Star basically make the gasp when they see the snakes and they realize that, and she kind of looks, and they look at her. Ryan, I don't know what you're going to do, or Baldwin, I don't know how you're going to react. Domino, I don't know how you're going to react, but Allie kind of looks, and then Allie immediately puts her hands over her eyes, like she just covers her eyes, like, I've read about this. Yeah, Lucky Star and Wilma just don't know anything about it. They're like, well, that's weird. You got snakes for hair. That's strange. Why would you have snakes for hair? Oh, I'm sorry, that's Atlas. He's outside.
She's not that ugly. I'm talking.
No, she's the opposite of ugly. She's a very attractive humanoid.
She's a little skinny for my taste.
Fair enough. She has no facial hair. There's a whole different thing. But I don't know if your clan's that type of clan of dwarves. I don't know. But she has a but she has like a very almost otherworldly beauty about her, and but you don't. And Ali like puts her hands back and was like, "You're looking at her? How can you be looking at her? How's anybody looking at her?" She kind of like starts looking around.
I don't know. I got a magic stone bracelet.
That is true. You don't. It's like a cock ring. No,
I didn't read that book. Well, I was like, are we not supposed to look at her?
Yeah. She smiles and she's still like holding your hand, and you see there's something like her hand's cool but not cold, it just, you definitely get the sense that she has not had like any like interaction with a person or another being for a while, and she just seems to be enjoying like the touch of another being, and she smiles and she says, "You don't have to cover your eyes. Yes, I am.
A super freak. A super freak guy.
A Medusae of lineage, but I'm not one of the cursed, if that helps at all. My birth mother was a beautiful young woman who, unbeknownstly to her, her parents made a deal with some ancient Fey lord for them to, that they wanted their daughter to be the most beautiful face that they would ever look upon. Unfortunately, upon their death, they would no longer be able to look upon her, so the Archfey exacted the curse upon my mother, where she did become a true Medusa in every aspect. I was in her womb at that time, and she gave birth to me shortly thereafter, and I came out like this. I have inherited apparently the beauty that my mother had, and also the other half of it as well. Except it's not touched me in the way that it would touch her. So I can, as long as I keep my emotions under control and don't make lingering eye contact with anyone, I will not harm you. And she's like stroking your hand kind of like absent-mindedly. Like, I'm not, like, I know others have a hard time looking at me, or I can't walk the streets. I can't be seen in the sunlight or anything like that because the stories or the legends, whatever. Obviously my father would keep anybody from touching me when we would walk out together. But without him, I'm basically just here alone. Just here alone. And I get food brought to me every few weeks through an app called Shipped. They're pretty good. I just got to put my order in and pay a small fee. No, my father made arrangements that I have a caretaker who comes by once a week to leave me things outside my door. But even he, even knowing me all this time, won't enter or knock or even let me know that he's there. So I play a little music, and I sit in the room, and I read the same 4 or 5 books, and then like her eyes start to well here, and Allie like leaps from the stool having this motion and like basically runs over and like hugs her. Like, just this, like, the loneliness idea just is too much for her. And she goes over and, like, hugs her and gives her this big embrace. And Fiona seems really surprised by this, but just kind of, falls into it and then just smiles. And like the little snakes are like kind of curling into Allie's hair, but they're not like biting. They're just like curling around her hair and twisting. And then they kind of pull apart. It's a weird moment as the snakes uncurl. And she's like, I'm sorry. They kind of have a mind of their own. She's like, it's okay. You poor thing. I can't believe. And they're like, she's like, and then Allie and her lock eyes for a good bit. And you see Allie kind of shiver for a second. And she's like, oh, she's like, yeah, I have to be careful. I'm sorry. And she's like, no, that was weird. Yeah, I know. But yeah.
I look at Allie. I was like, "You felt that too? I felt it too."
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, it's weird. And she kind of pulls away a little bit, and she smiles a little at you, Baldwin. Allie does, and she says, "I think I know what it feels like when you say your joints are getting stiff. I get it now. I definitely, really, really get it now."
The secret is to bathe in a bath of hot beer.
The dwarven answer.
Yeah. Oh, that's outlet. So Fiona goes back to. She's like, "Well, thank you. That we've run down my terrible story. And thank you for telling me my father. I don't know. His writ was paid out, I assume, from whatever that's written here.
Yes.
I understand you there was split with you all. Oh, and I'm fine with it for you bringing me the news. And I think my father, would have just supported you guys and what you've done, and really appreciate you doing this for me. And then she looks at you and she's like, "You're really hurt."
But,
Yeah, she actually starts. She's not good about. You realize she does not have a great concept of social spaces, boundaries. Okay, she's obviously what's wrong. So she's starts to pull open your jacket and looking at the the gouge wound you have in your chest. You got stabbed. She's looking at all this stuff. She's like, "Oh my gosh!" And she stands you up and moves you and makes you sit down on the bed. You're really hurt.
Yeah. It was. They're like I said, we don't really belong here, and there's some people that we don't really like, and yeah. So
you guys definitely should rest here. There's plenty of room. I mean, I can make extra room. The beds are big. But they can sleep 2 or maybe 3 if you sleep catty quarter or something. There's plenty of room here. You guys should stay here for the night. You really should stay here. I can even cook something. I can help him get beer or something. And she moves over next to you, Domino, and she realizes unless you were fighting her, Jason, she kind of puts you onto the bed. She's not super strong. She's just green and has snake.
I'm gonna go with the fact too, Mike, that I just got fucked up too.
You are pretty messed up.
I'm not. I really did.
I forgot you were poisoned too. It only lasts a minute.
I don't feel so good.
Yeah.
I don't feel so good.
But she looks over to you, Domino, and she's like, I can see wounds through your armor. You're really injured. Wow. And she looks over at you, Baldwin, and she's like, you're tough.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm made of leather.
Well, I think with that, Fiona, I mean, one of the things at some point, I don't think we need to. I mean, we do need to try to find a place where we can actually stay ourselves, because we will be here for a while. But we don't speak the language here, and we don't feel like we'd be really, we don't know if we'd be treated all that fairly. And so we're hoping perhaps maybe to some extent.
What are they going to do? Cheat us out of 7 copper? Come on.
Fiona says, "Well, no, I can definitely help you. So are you asking me to help you go out there and do things?
You think you're able? I don't see why
not. Oh my
not.
gosh, yes. I mean, yeah. And then just as a quick, I'll give you the free perception. You realize that underneath this cloak, she's not wearing a whole lot of clothing. She lives alone in an isolated room with everything like that. But she immediately goes over and starts putting things in a bag. Yeah, I'm ready. We can go. We can go right now. We can leave. That sounds great.
She's got COVID cabin fever. Just sitting around the house naked, not talking to anyone.
Yeah, exactly. She's gone. She has no windows, and she's basically in a stone. I mean, she's basically in a big coffin. I mean, it's not, but it is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good phrasing.
I could build you a window.
Oh, but I mean, if we're leaving and my father's dead, I mean, there's almost no reason for me to stay here. No one's gonna ever come visit me or anything like that. And then she's like, she looks down and like looks down between her like the clothes. She's like, I am not really wearing any clothes. Oops. Wow. Okay. So this has got weird all of a sudden. But oh wait, you guys need to stay here for the night, right? That's what I decided. Yes. No, we can't go anywhere tonight, but we can definitely go somewhere tomorrow. And yes, I'll go with you. Please let me come with you. I speak like everything. I've read how to speak like everything. I speak giant, that because my dad and everything and the people here. I mean, that I speak. But I've read like every other. I mean, I've read like everything. And then she goes over and opens these boxes, and inside these boxes, these crates at the end of the beds, it's just full of like tomes. And at that point, Allie like goes, "Oh my goodness," and says, "Hey, we have the bag of holding, right? Are you done with these books?" She's like, "Yes, I've read them all like 7 times, at least, if not more."
Don't we have all our gold in the bag of holding?
You do have a lot of yes, you actually do. That's not on. And I think it's all on the donkey anyway, even in the bags of holding.
I was like, because we don't want to take gold out to put books in. Like, I don't hate books, but I like gold more.
Well, what if I just got like your top 6 and Fiona's like, oh, and then they start talking about books or just chattering on other things. So.
Oh Jesus.
I figured, do you guys think unless you have any weird other objection, she's gonna help set you guys up for the night. She cooks this actually a pretty gosh darn good meal. She is brilliantly practiced really well. She does kind of a weird trick, and she makes a comment about we're cooking some beef, and she says the beef is better aged. And you notice that the beef looks kind of really fresh. Then she stares at it, and as she's staring at it, you see it begin to kind of decay. And then she stops at a certain point in time, and she's like, now it's aged. And she gets very tender, and she cooks it that way.
Oh, that's weird. And gross, but okay.
It has a different effect on, like, dead things. It, like, decays them slightly. Or ages them, if you want to see it that way. It was just something I realized I could do. But it's strange. It takes a little bit out of me. I can only do the effect, like, completely once, kind of without a rest. I need a rest every so often. So game mechanics, her petrification only works once a day.
Oh, I gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah, okay. But it's the full, if she fully does the petrification, not like the weird thing I was having happen to you guys, like the little grants and things, because it wasn't, and she wasn't going to persist it. You weren't going to get turned to stone unless somebody really botched the saving throw. So, but, yeah. And you notice after she does the thing with the meat and gets it all weather, her eyes kind of get a little bluer. They lose some of their green and they get a little bluer. So, shows that she's expensed her power for the day. Give or take. So, but she only has really one bed. She guys kind of like sit on chairs. She tries to dress your wounds and do some tending. She does get rid of your poison effect because she has a decent mass medical check. And plus, actually, I think it only lasts for a minute. I guess they let Lyle and what's it called in, and Lyle makes a comment that he doesn't see her, like in the threads, like she doesn't exist in the threads.
What does that mean, Lyle?
He's like, I do not know. I've never met anyone that has this way, this bizarreness, this strangeness that she has. I've never ever seen this before. It is very unique. You talk about this story, so tell me your story again. She recounts the story. He goes, maybe it has something to do with the touch of the Archfey, being creatures that are outside of this world and having an impact on this world. Perhaps that's some way that has touched her in a way that has kept her outside of this. Like she beholden beauty, but also the strange curse of her mother. But not the full version of that part, but definitely majority of the beauty. As you can see, probably because that was what she was conceived, and she was only part of in the belly of the monster, so to speak. I hope no offense. For a limited time, she was, oh no, my mother apparently was terrible when she got cursed. She, after she birthed me, she tried to kill me. My father tried to save me. He was turned to stone. My grandparents were turned to stone. It sounds like a really terrible situation. And from what I understand, my father, who I acknowledged, arrived and put my mother down and brought me back here. And, this being a monster kingdom, so, as they say, generally was, you'd think they'd be more accepting, actually. It didn't quite go that way. I mean, you almost turn one kid to school on, the stone on the, playground, and everyone makes, this, gotta ostracize you. I mean, I didn't mean to, but he was throwing sand, and that was enough. Bobby Ray.
Should have got it in your eyes.
That might have been his goal. I don't know. So, and then of course girls always being jealous of how pretty I was, and guys always wanting to get close to me. But if you get too close to me, and if I'm not paying attention, or if I get distracted or excited, yeah. Anyway, there's some jokes there, but my dad told me it was homeschool from then on, remote learning for me, and I wear a mask when I go out. I'm a very good citizen. So she will let you guys will be able to have your full rest. So everyone can go ahead and get their full heal. She will attempt to do a heal check on, what's his name? Atlas, to see if she can cure. You guys are medicine check. I don't know if somebody else was going to try. Oh, no, she botched it too. Man, yeah, he's keeping that.
With his concussion?
Yeah. I botched it. It sucked. So I should be able to give everybody a long rest. And yours already, Jason. Cool.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Okay.
And then I would imagine that'd be a level.
And then go ahead and take care of your level. If you haven't already, I think I've done everybody. Lucky Stara. Yeah, you guys are 8, right?
Yeah, it should be 8. Well, I guess, I don't know, mine still says 7, but I don't know if that's just because I didn't, you have to actively do it, right?
Yeah, you gotta go through.
That's what it is.
Click
All
the
right,
thing.
cool.
It should,
Let me do that right now.
You went through the level, the character mancer thing?
Yeah, I'll do that right now.
Cool.
I didn't do it yet.
Is that list done? Yeah, this is done. No, he isn't. Why is his thing up? Clear that. Oh, there it is. Yeah, the character matcher's right there. I don't know what I'm gonna do with him. And I know the irony of it is another NPC. But
Right.
she's like, if anybody wanted to stay here while we, however we want to go about doing this, whatever you need done. She asked you a lot of questions about what your mission is. How much you guys gonna tell her?
I'm going to tell her about wanting to try to get some people out of here, right? Because they want to go back to where they're from. And then, making ourselves settled here and just, getting a good lay of the land and trying to honor her father's memory and moving forward with just try to honor her father's memory with how he envisioned the town to be. So.
Oh, I thought we were just killing slavers.
And then Ryan says that.
So, well, I don't have any love for slavers. I know this is gonna sound really conceited. I apologize, but because of the way I look, minus these guys, she curls one of the snakes around her hair. There have been many attempts to acquire me to sell me to somebody else, and my father had to deal with a lot of that. And my status as a citizen has been called into question more than once. Even in a monster kingdom, they know they can be truly monstrous, and it has nothing to do with their physical appearance or the way they speak. And the funny thing is, it seems to come from the most civilized of the members. So then just go ahead and please take the half plus the half value. So yeah.
Yep.
So, you realize that like some of her childhood and early adolescence in this city and dealing with stuff was pretty crappy. Actually, it did not go well until finally, Dad just said, "That's it. You're just going to live in this thing. You'll be around people and in the city, but unless I'm here, you're staying inside the walls." And yeah, and you realize that the walls of this place are really thick. Like 5-foot walls around this building. And the ceiling is a stone ceiling, too. It's pretty impressive engineering feat. Even though it's crudely done and not with any style. So, with that, Fiona says, so in the morning she bakes a nice breakfast with a bunch of eggs and stuff like that. And, you know, she shed the cloak and is just wearing like a nice dress, and she just seems to be just a lady to have people. She tries to talk to everyone, and she loves going to talk to Lucky Star, and she's like, "It's so weird. I hear your voice in my mind. That's so weird. How do you do that?" So, but those are odd because they're just the time that they're both staring at each other. But Fiona keeps her gaze kind of down, not directly into other people's eyes. They're very green this morning. They seem to be very bright green in the morning.
They seem ready to kill.
They're ready to
They're
Yep.
fueled.
They're fueled. They're really. Yep, she's rested. So Ryan, she actually had some. It's not dwarven ale, but she had some ale that her father left behind, and it was a cask for him. So it was a pretty good amount. So there's definitely some good drink on if you wanted to indulge. So
Yeah, I'm thinking I would have a drink or
you
three.
and Wilma go woo. Wilma's 3 sheets of the wind super fast. So drunken monk. Tie the donkey up somewhere. Yeah. So she says, "Okay, so what is it? What do you guys need to do?"
Well,
she has one moment. She
Yeah.
does have one moment. She says, did you bury my father?"
Yes, we did.
With that, she gives you a big hug and even she gives you a soft kiss on the cheek unless you're gonna pull away. It's weird because the snakes kind of like kiss at your head.
Like that one scene
From in Monsters Inc. Yeah.
Is that what it is? Yeah, Monsters Inc. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny.
So,
So, oh shit, I gotta turn this off. 1 second.
no problem.
I look at her and I go, I need to go shopping.
Okay, what is it you need to get?
Arms and equipment.
Okay. She's
Let's
like,
have your-
she goes up and she kind of playfully grabs your arm. She's like, "Looks like you got plenty of arms, though, sir." All right, there was a book on dad jokes. And she lowers her head.
Like, I'll chuckle. Oh, that sounds like a joke one of our great dwarven comedians.
Oh, really?
There's only one.
Oh,
His name is Brindle Browntones.
oh, wow. There was one dwarf. Oh, I thought, okay, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. What,
He's famous because he smiles. So it's quite humorous.
You can tell she doesn't know if you're being funny or serious, and the whole time, so she just kind of smiles at everything you say, like, "Wow, that's amazing." He sounds like he sounds very funny.
He is dead serious. This is for real. This is our culture.
That's awesome. Rendo Brownstone. I would hope to see him one day.
Yes. Brown tones.
Oh, Rendo Brownstones.
Yeah. He's got this whole bit about his finger and people pulling it. It's
Sounds
you have
hilarious.
to be there. You have to be there to really understand it.
Well, I do hope one day, maybe. And she looks over at Allie, and she's like, and Allie's like, Allie just kind of smiles. She's okay. Maybe I could come one day, and you could let me see him. Or, I'll wear a cowl, or I'll put makeup on, or I'll wear a hood over my head, or a mask, or I'll wear whatever I need to wear. But it'd be cool if I could go out there and maybe I could see him one day outside of anywhere.
You're free to go wherever you want, and if anyone tries to stop you, you kill them.
Whoa, that seems extreme. My dad always told me to look the other way. He literally said I have to look the other way, otherwise I'll turn them to statues.
Well, I guess that's what they get for getting in your way.
I kind of never thought it that way. He kind of taught me more of a tolerance, or it's just this is my lot in life. You know, I mean, he was good. He loved me and cared for me, but yeah, he definitely, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had to step away. I did want to try to get some normal non-slaver armor, by the way. That was part of our approach as well.
So she smiles at you. She says, "Okay, so you need to take off all your clothes then?"
Not yet. I got these wonderful pants.
See, there's a
Those are
very distinct difference between armor and clothing. See, armor is worn on the outside, and it protects you from blows. Clothing is for modesty, and keep the demons away.
Oh.
Demons away.
Gotcha.
I do want to get out of that armor. I know what's her name was doing some sort of special thingamajig, but I think if I'm going to go somewhere to get measured or whatever it is, I'm going to
I need to get armor too, so let's go to said guy who does armor.
Okay, yeah, we could do that.
Or a lovely gal who does armor.
So are you gonna wear your arm, or you wear all your? Jason, what are you gonna do? You let Lucky Star try to do the illusion on you, which you can, the glamour. So
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna risk it, I guess, Mike. I'm gonna go without the.
But you wear your pants.
I will wear the pants.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. And yeah, I'll wear the pants without a doubt.
Okay. Fiona, you realize that not that they're like exceptionally like sexy dresses, but she only seems to have these dresses like really frilly, over the top, like princess dresses. That's all she seems to have. But she puts one
put
on.
her out of place, right?
Huh?
Make her kind of stand out, right?
Well, you have this feeling that her dad probably just bought her these really pretty things because he knew she was trapped in here, and so just to kind of make her feel better, she got to at least dress up pretty. But she does put she has a big black cloak that she puts over her head and stuff like that, and that does kind of hide the dresses. But like, they're big dresses, like so, like it's just if the thing comes off, she will stand out a lot, and not the fact that she has snakes for hair and. Very distinctive appearance, and she's just like kind of ridiculously beautiful. Like just like it's just like you look at her and it's hard not to like it's like otherworldly. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like she woke up with no crust in her eyes, no drool lines. Like her face is perfect. She has no creases, no lines. It's just it's soft looking, and when she touched you, her hands are very soft, and there's not a blemish, a scar, and it's just nothing. She is. Like there's a divine power at work that is making her, or that has contributed to her beauty, and then she has snakes for hair, and her eyes continue to stone. So
those kind of things.
Yeah. So, and she's greenish, so that's like that may not be everyone's cup of tea. Kirk be all over her though.
Who's that?
Captain Kirk be all over her.
Oh, Kirk, yeah. And the other thing I think is kind of relevant is we probably should find a place to stable up and / like. Stay. I don't know if we can all just continue to hang out in her, apartment.
I guess no. I'm sorry. I guess her eyes are brown, then they become bluish. No, I'm gonna go back to green. I like green. Green's better. The green then did become bluish as her energy expands. So, all right. She's like, you don't want to stay here then? Okay. Yeah, we could find a place.
We don't want to overstay our welcome, and there are
no. There's no way. There's no way. You guys are
5 of us, 6 of us.
So you need me to get more beds? I could probably get more beds delivered. I could probably find some way to get that happen.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to need extra beds. If we need extra beds, I'll just build them.
That's true.
You guys are fine. I'll save $1 anywhere I can. I don't want to pay someone to live somewhere. So,
This
She
is
just looks
role
like
playing, Jason. You don't have to be you in your grove.
D&D game. Yeah.
you can only roll. You can only role play so much. You can only role play so much.
I was terribly tempted because we're getting rid of a car seat to call you and be like, "Hey, yo, you want this car seat?" But they do say like you
They
shouldn't
expire,
use
yeah,
car
yeah.
seats. Like, so I've had it for a really long time, but so the kid's on a booster now. So
That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah,
I think
they,
we're on the
yeah.
car seat front, but that's all big baby. So
No, you're gonna need a car seat though.
it's going to be here
It's
sooner
like
we
than
have
later.
two.
the law.
We have two. So
Oh yeah.
And you're probably going to go through more than one.
technically one. I don't know. Yeah, well, we have a couple.
Well, you only have really the one car that you really can do that in, though, right? I mean, the truck is.
Well, you just need to get a second base, but no, the truck you should be able to put it into. So, but
Oh,
we're
you
not
have one of
planning-
the click things, right?
Yeah, we're not planning to do the truck though. I mean,
Yeah.
sorry, we're not planning to drive the baby around in the truck a lot. So
Yeah, hopefully you won't ever have to. If you ever need to, let me know. You can borrow one of my vehicles. Whatever vehicle it is, Jason, you can borrow it. So just keep us posted.
Okay. Whatever one at a time. I'll keep you posted. All right.
Just put the kid in the bed of the truck. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, I'm serious. Like, you definitely can take one of my cars. And I don't like sounding like I have a lot of cars. But I mean,
You have, yeah. Like what?
sorry, either
Yeah,
my
is it-
car or the minivan.
Is it a Tesla? If it's not a Tesla, I don't want to borrow it.
Not. Oh my gosh.
Making a decision, Mike.
My
Need to
headset
talk to additional people.
My headset tells me the battery's low, and it's telling me battery's low. So I went to put this charger in, but it got like stuck loose, and then it just kept saying battery low, battery low, battery low, battery low. It just literally stopped. Like when I started talking about it, saying that. So as you guys were talking to me, I kept hearing battery low, battery low, battery low. Like, stop. Yeah, so I am looking at, and actually I had a conversation with Christina, and we're pursuing what the financial options might be for me to get a used Model S. So she says she's morally opposed. I'm like, why is it morally? She's like, I'm sorry, it's not morally. I'm kind of financially opposed. And I'm like, okay, that, morally sounds really odd. Like it's not.
Sounds like wrong versus right kind of thing.
But she just, and so, and the funny thing is, because she works for the bank, we might be able to get better financing if she goes on the loan with me. She's like, well, I want to be on the loan with this thing. So I don't know. We'll see. I got to get some of the paperwork together to see what we can do. I don't know. I'm still going back and forth on it. So
Just saying. I mean, regardless of whether or not she's on the loan, I mean, she's on the loan.
well, I mean, yeah, exactly. She's not on the other two loans, but she still helps pay for those cars. Yeah. So, but we'll see. So, I don't know. It's weird. And now it's like this close, and I'm just kind of in this weird mode with it. But all right, so you guys go out in the district, and you notice that as soon as you get outside of her street, people see her and they begin to just move away. Like she is cutting paths in her alley, like as she moves out and from the.
That was the other thought too, Mike. Was maybe Allie, unless I'm mixing them up, could do something for her appearance so that she was less obvious in some way, shape, or form.
Lucky Star is the one who could do it, but
Yeah, Lucky Star. Yeah, I don't know if it'll extend that far, but that was a thought.
She says I can really kind of just maintain the one illusion at a time. Oh, that's right. You're not wearing your armor.
We're in the armor,
Yeah,
so that was a thought of it too.
okay.
I forgot to mention that. So
Yeah. So she's like, I could try to hire, and Fiona says, no, if I'm going to be out, I'm going to be out, and like Baldwin says,
it's gonna be a
You know
gay
what?
pride game, Mike. Jesus Christ!
exactly.
Fuck you.
But if they're going to get in my way, then maybe they should look the other way if they don't want to become stone. Yeah. No, I'm really going to try not to turn anybody to stone. That really makes me feel terrible. I mean, I've only almost did it once. It was awful. And I know what I mean. That's just, I don't know why I do that to anybody. But yeah. So she's got a little bit of chutzpah, but not a whole lot. I mean, she's still very, very, very timid in that regard. There it is, Morancy. I was trying to find my notes. There we go. And so you guys are in the yellow district right now, but you're going to the... Yeah, you're in the trader district right now. Okay. Yeah. So as you guys are moving through this district, you notice that the the bands that people are wearing have a lot of. They still have the dark red, but there's yellow as the top lines that you're seeing, and you realize that this, and you eventually are led to. While people give her a wide berth, the people really are staring at you guys as they see you all because you're a dwarf, a human, an elf, a tiefling. Wow. Yeah, Lucky Star looks at it. Yeah, so yeah, douchebag or whatever he is, a wildling thing, a furball. I mean, it's like people are really eyeing you guys kind of like oddly. And then you have a couple weird moments. There are a lot of ogres, Oni, Kinku, and then you see a different trades group set up, and you eventually get to what seems to be the trade district. So she gets you right where you want to go. You want to go to you need like a leather worker, Jason, I'm assuming, and Ryan, you need a smith, right?
An armorer.
An armorer, yeah. So. But you want plate. You're looking for armor, not like Jason's like more leather, I assume.
Yeah, mine's studded. I think that the best I can do is studded.
It's still in the kind of the same grouping because there's the underpadding and whatnot, but there's kind of different like specialties, I guess. So she leads you up there, and the Jason, go ahead and make a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, you do 6. Yeah, go ahead and roll a d6. Roll a d6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay. And she takes you into this shop, and she says, I think this is one of the best ones ever. He will be able to speak your language, but it's going to be annoying. And that you see a large, like, crow humanoid. It's a kinku. I don't know if you're familiar with kinku. And he looks up at you and he goes, she says, I don't know what you know about them, but they don't really speak common. They just mimic the voices of other people they've heard. So it's going to be annoying. And with that, he says, what do you want? As he sees you walk up. You're on mute.
I'm looking to have made for me some studded leather armor.
For you?
Me. For my size.
For you?
Myself. Yes.
And then it begins pulling out some from rope and twine and. Could you stand here?
What was that?
Could you stand here?
Yeah. I go where I need to stand.
Oh, thank you, Sonny. Oh, thank you, Sonny. And then it begins like wrapping the thing around your arms, doing some stuff. Then looks back up at you. After it gets done, walks over, and you hear it like mumbling, like chittering, like just a bird, like roosting, blah 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 blah. And after what feels like too long, if you go to like step off the platform, stay, like roars out at you. And goes back to chittering. And then looks up at you and it says that this would cost you. Hold, please. You just want studded leather?
I believe so, right? I mean, I don't think.
5,000! 5,000!
Like copper? Right.
And they're like the Z one, like the word for the coin, but yes.
Right.
Isn't Z? Yeah. Or Roku. Yeah, like Rokon or whatever. 5,000! So it may be the equivalent of 50 gold.
Okay, yeah, and that sounds. I'm sorry, my brain wasn't working at all. It doesn't sound. It sounds.
It's a little bit more than what the price is, but it's not much more.
Right, but I'd expect that anyway. So, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I'll say When will you have it?
3 days.
3 days?
3 days. Bye-bye.
Half now?
Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah. Okay. And now I'll go, I guess.
And as you go to leave, did you pay him anything, or you just like walk away without paying anything?
I'll say half now, half upon delivery of goods.
Oh, no.
Whatever. Okay.
It gives you a weird, like, crooked smile, and then just takes the 50 gold, puts it away, writes up something on something, and hands it to you. But it's written in giant. And she looks his blades over and says, it says, ugly human, studded leather, paid. And it's
Look at him and I
got
say,
marks on it.
I'm a good-looking human, not an ugly one.
I'm a good-looking human, not an ugly one. Says he's back in your voice. But maybe a little, like, slightly slanted, you know? So. All right, and then, so then you guys move on. I think, Ryan, you're going to try to go to the next shop. Did anybody else want to do anything in his shop while he was doing this obnoxious kunku?
I don't need anything
deal.
from a
Yeah.
coat. Yeah. I would
Ryan,
walk right out of that shop.
go and roll a d6. Oh, that's awesome. So you go in, and you go in this, and she says, I believe this one might be the most accommodating for you. And you enter, and you see just a big, burly human male. He's probably like 5'6", but he's probably like 455, like weight-wise. He's just big and wide, more than he is tall. And he's got a big thing. He's got no shirt on, like just dirty breeches, and just a big leather smock covering everything. And he turns around and goes, says something like in giant, like, as he sees you guys walk in, and she's like, they speak common very well.
Yep.
And then he looks at her, and for a second there, he just kind of stares at her, and she kind of covers her face up and like looks down and away. And then he looks at you and goes, dwarf! This is the best day ever. What do you want, dwarf?
I'm looking to buy some plate armor.
I bet you are. Wait. Like for real? You came to Moran to buy plate armor?
I didn't come to Moran to buy plate armor. All right. I just happened to be in Moran, and I happen to need plate armor.
Well, Sarek be praised. I'm getting all type of crazy business today. Okay. Let's do you up. Let's look at this. Gotta make some more. I gotta figure something out here. You got coin, right?
How much?
Kind of looks you up and down. Make an insight check.
I don't care what this roll is. Whatever he says initially, I'm going to say no. I'm just telling you that now.
That's fine. Okay. He looks you up and down and he's like, God bless. I just got to like write this math down because it's something that's just hard in my head. Stupid everything I cover. Yeah. 150,000 koku. Or what it came, zukons or whatever the stupid thing's called.
It's like 150 gold.
It's like 1,500 gold.
Oh. Okay, no.
No, what do you mean no? Where are you gonna go, dwarf? You're actually probably almost his height because he's not very tall as a human.
You were definitely not worth that much as an armor.
You haven't even checked it out yet. You don't even know my wares.
I've looked at your hands and I've seen the condition of your forge.
Really, you're judging my forge? Oh, my forge is awesome. All right, listen. Don't do this. Don't do this. But I'm gonna do this. Do this. 125,000 zukons.
I'll look over at Allie.
she surprises you, and she says in Dwarven, it's not good Dwarven, but she says in Dwarven, if you think you could, if we have it, we could probably get it. On the flip side, you could probably try to get him to knock it down another 10%. And you're just surprised that she speaks Dwarven so well. The guy looks and goes, whoa, Chiefly speaking, wow, that's crazy. And then she says, also, he's a fat slug, and we shouldn't trust him as far as you could throw him. And I actually think you could throw him kind of far. And then he's like, oh, man, it kind of sounds pretty coming from her. Don't know what she's saying, though.
She's my accountant.
Oh, that's pretty cute for an accountant, I guess. Pretty fiery, too, Tiefling. You almost fit in here. More than this guy.
All right, don't talk to her anymore. All right. You knock 10% more off of that, and I'll take the deal.
He's just pulling up wedgies that don't exist, just moving his big body around. I'll do it for 120,000 Kinkus. Rokus.
Right.
So it's probably like a little bit, maybe 20% more than you would pay if you get like to their best hobby shop. So it goes, but it's gonna take a while. Like, I need at least 80%. And probably gonna take a week.
I will pull out 50%.
Okay. 600 gold.
I'm like, that's what you're gonna get.
All right. Probably maybe 10 days. I'll try, see what I can do.
Well, the quicker you do it, the quicker you'll get the other half.
All right, come back in 5 days and talk to me. See where we're at.
Fine.
He does. He gets it written out, writes something down, and he hands it to you. It's a Dwarven. And she just, Well, Fiona leans over and just says, she smiles, she grins, and she says, this is ridiculous. It says short dwarf. She looks over at the guy, shakes her head. She says it does say 6 days and half paid. So
Perfect.
As much as anything else, it's something to say, Us being civilized. And they'll lead you out. So, is there any other places you guys might like to visit?
Yep. I need to get some weapons. I need to replace a few weapons.
Okay. Chris, how do you go about showing? How are you? I assume you have the donkey with you guys. How are you kind of pulling this gold out? Because these have been some larger sums of gold.
So the 600 I actually had on me.
Okay, so you just pulled out a gold purse and handed it over. Okay.
Yep.
Jason, how have you been going about? How did you handle your gold? We can't hear you.
Trust me, you prefer that with all the noise I am making eating this crap. I would have just had that in my purse, I think. Set aside for that. So, knowing that we were going around that way.
Gotcha. Alrighty.
I just need to go to a weapons place and a jeweler. That's it.
Domino, was there anywhere your character in particular wanted to go?
Right now, I mean, I don't really know of anything I really need.
Okay. As you journey out back on the street, you get you got a couple blocks. You're going, I guess, to the weaponsmith person, and then you come upon something that actually comes you see what looks to be a flayed human in the middle of this small little square, and in the back of the square is a big temple. And go ahead and make a religion check, everybody. I could have done the thing. Oh, you don't have advantage, but okay, I'll do the 14 still. Oh, Ryan knows who it is.
Religion, right?
Yep.
I should be good at that.
Should be. But it is an intelligence skill.
Oh, never mind. No, definitely not good at that.
Okay. Considering it's one of the more major religions, also you get kind of the gist, but it's definitely one of the evil gods. If you didn't get that, yeah, I know. Jason, you kind of you think it's like Bane or Merkel maybe, and then Ryan, you realize this is a temple to Cyric, and it's a big temple to Cyric, and there are guards in black armor sitting out front with like the Cyric skull symbol on their armor in red. Yeah, and there's somebody.
Let's just give these people a wide berth.
And it looks. There's another guy standing out there. It's a. Actually, you realize it's a doppelganger because he's kind of shimmering and changing his shape every so often as people walk by, like looking at the people that he's talking to, just passing, not like the full Perla thing, but like he's basically emulating the different humanoids that move past him, and he's speaking out something in giant. And Fiona gets really close. She like kind of just gets in the middle of all of you, and she's like, this guy's creepy. But he's talking about how the world's being judged, and Cyric will reign supreme, and that was a non-believer, and yeah.
It's gotta be scary if you're a human. Are y'all scared about that? Just
She looks, are you scared? And she reaches over, she actually grabs your hand, Nimbles, and then she reaches over and grabs your hand too, Domino, and she kind of like holds your hands close to her body. She's like, are you guys scared? It's okay.
those are human gods. Dwarf gods aren't that. They're not that extreme.
Go ahead and roll a group stealth check. Everyone go ahead and make it. You just want to get more successes than failure with the three of you. Oh, that was okay. You guys, I think you're gonna be good no matter what. No matter what Ryan rolls, I think it'll be okay.
Ryan good for 1.
Whatever this is, you need to add 2 to it.
Okay.
20.
All right. So there's a point in time where like another group of like black cowled guys walk nearby, and one of their cowls kind of like looks over to you, Chris. How outwardly is your god displayed on your armor?
Corn or something like that. Whatever.
Yeah, but how? I mean, I know my clerics, like my character would be a freaking like flagpole. Like, there's no way. Like, I would be challenging them. But how overt is your holy symbol and stuff like that?
I mean, I would say it's probably under my like armor. Like closer to my chest, I guess.
Gotcha. Okay. But he does. But you guys still had a good, successful enough roll that the person didn't really investigate too much further. But it does give you kind of like the pause that you might want to be careful what you specifically being a cleric of a good god in a city that obviously has worshippers of, yeah. And she's still like holding your hand close to her chest, like she's like holding you like real like tight, and she's like, "It's okay, I promise. I'll try to not let anybody hurt you. My big strong humans."
They need protection. They're not that bright.
But they're so big and strong. I've read all these great stories about how heroes that would come and save damsels who are trapped in buildings and towers, or I don't know, maybe like stone houses that don't have any windows. She's like, don't even like look the part. I have the dresses.
Yeah.
She's kind of being more playful than anything and trying to like distract you from the terrible thing of Cyric. With that, you guys end up in the weapons district. Ryan, go and roll another d6.
Oh.
I'm not going to do these two. I guess I can do that one. 1, 2, 3. You went to her, she's like, okay, this one's going to be odd. But as far as I can tell, she's the one who's willing to deal with anyone. And as you enter, you see a withered old woman with like the nasty, like, protuberance nose and like just ooze kind of coming out of it. She just kind of seems kind of gross and decay, and she's like, "Oh, look who wanders!" And she actually speaks common straight out. "Look who wanders into my shop today."
Sounds terrible.
You sell weapons?
I do. Weapons that have come into my possession from people who don't need it anymore.
Oh.
Sound like you sell potions to princesses.
Oh, look at you. A bright light in this dark city. Do you come to convert us? It won't work so well for you. Oh, the sisters will make you burn, and the cult will make you bleed, and then those of Cyrix will cut you up and burn you on display for everyone to see.
Now, quiet, old lady.
You hear another crazy, like, old woman scream like, Eliza, this is why we get no customers. She comes coming out from the back. You can't tell them these crazy things. Go. And she kind of like tries to push her away. Oh, I just sing. And then she turns to you. She goes, my sister. But welcome. You have gold? You have coin?
Yeah. I need 2 hand axes, 1 crossbow.
2 hand axes and 1 crossbows. Show me coin.
Plop down a sack of about 100.
Oh. Show me coin. Whipping it out, did he? And then she looks around and comes up. You said you wanted 2 hand axes?
2 hand axes and a crossbow.
And a crossbow, huh?
It's been so long since I've had my ranged weapons.
That is true. Well, let's see here. For you, my young friend, how old are we there, little one?
How old am I?
Yeah.
Old enough.
Oh, I like what that implies.
It implies I'm nearing death. Now, can we get on with the sale?
She says, fine. 25 to 50. We'll do it all for 1,000 Roku.
Done. I'm not even negotiating with you. I just want to get out of here.
Oh, you sure you know what to say? We do have some potions if you'd like to drink them.
No.
She looks over at Domino. You mentioned potion to my sister.
No, I don't need any potions. I'm good with the potions. I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to sell me, old lady. I'm good. I don't need anything.
Old lady. Old lady, I'm no lady anymore.
We do have some children we could trade you.
Oh, we would love to eat them. Visit with them. Have them for food. Yeah, we eat them and kill them. It's terrible. We love it, though. It's so good.
Requested. Now we have to kill you.
What a setup, Ryan. That's entrapment.
Oh, but you're in the wrong town for that, my friend. The wrong town for that. She then they do bring out that she has 2 hand axes and a crossbow. They seem to be pretty fair. It's like they were well taken care of. But yeah, like there's like still blood splatter on one of the handles. Like and just for dramatic effect, like the crossbow still has a hand on it that's been like severed and cut off. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, we left that there. Our mistake. And she begins peeling fingers off until she gets them all off, and she puts. We'll save this one for later.
You put that in a stew, and
Oh, would you like to join us for dinner?
No.
Well, you can join us many more different ways than just the way you're thinking. And yeah, then she hands them off to you. And
Okay.
You realize that like you didn't feel it because you're tough, but like Fiona had like a death grip on your shoulder, like she was just holding onto you really tight. And then she leans over. She's like, "I've been told that they have the habit of possessing people, if one's not aware. But I didn't know if that would happen to you or not. But it seems you are of stoner stuff."
I've never heard of a case of dwarven possession. It's usually for those of weak will and character.
That makes sense. And you dexterously dodge out of the hag's room, Jason, and you dodge like that. Hold on 1 second.
The go.
Wait, sounded like he was doing laundry. But the evil spirit wants to do laundry. Yeah, we can make this work. All right. And yep. So, is there anything else you guys want to do in the trading district?
I mean, would we want to? I don't know if we'd be able to do something like that. Would you want to try to get like a? We're not going anywhere, right? For a while, so I don't know if we need to like restock in that way. Ryan, did you go to the jeweler?
Yep. Do need to go to the jeweler.
Okay. Go ahead and give me another D6. Moran notes. What did we get this time? Oh, 6. Okay. She leads you around and eventually comes to she's like, apparently her and Lucky Star are having some sort of silent conversation because she's occasionally giggling, but she does like you have to like get her attention a few times. She's like, right, sorry, the jeweler, I'm sorry. I really just, did I mention how much I love every minute of all of this? I don't know if you guys can tell. This is so great. I mean, I'm really sad that my father died, and that's what brought you guys into my life. And so it's just, I almost feel guilty for feeling so good right now, being out and with people and talking, and you guys don't seem to be afraid of me at all. And it's just, and you guys are so sweet. And so anyway, I know, I'm sorry. You gotta find your jeweler. I know, jeweler. Right, hold on, we can get to a jeweler. Okay. And we weave through some streets. Eventually comes to this jewel shop, and you enter, and it's a very nice, like there's perfume in the air. Like it's a very fancy shop. And as you enter, a tall, lean man stands behind the glass case, which has all this different like affixed jewelry. And as you enter, he turns. He says, He also speaks common. And he looks at you and he says, "Little gray, like the very sunken cheeks. It's a doppelganger in his natural form, but he's like a well-dressed doppelganger in his natural form." And then go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw, Ryan, as he looks at you.
Ryan.
Ryan's the one, I think, going up to the counter, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm talking 3.
Okay. What did you actually come here for, Ryan? Because he knows.
So I'm wanting to take all that gold I have and turn it into jewels so that it's much more transportable.
So simple. Before you can open your mouth, he goes, so a simple exchange of currency, basically. You wish to take some of my gems and finer items, and you're going to then pay me in these coins, and that way it's easier for you to transport them.
It's not coins. It's solid gold.
Oh, I misread that. And he smiles as he looks, like, kind of peers over at you. And then he looks over to Allie and he says, he's growing more affectionate for you. Maybe things will change. She's like, why does everyone say stuff like that? What's with these people?
They're assholes.
He's willing to do it, but he's gonna take a huge cut. It's like, it will take me a while to then replace the gems that I'm going to be giving to you or selling to you at this price. So it is a take it or leave it. I don't care. You could try to convince him, skill challenge with him if you want to.
What cut is he taking? So that's
he's gonna take like 40%.
Skill challenge him, Ryan.
I'm like, it's not wholly out of the realm of reasonable. I'll give you a third.
Let's just.
I don't think you realize how much gold I have. you're going to make a huge profit. Like, a ridiculous profit. Like, buy your own kingdom profit.
Go ahead and make a persuasion roll with advantage. You definitely have. That's a true statement. You guys have a ton of gold. Oh, well, sometimes the dice are just on your side. Fine. I'll take a third. That is fine. It's on the donkey, right? Nothing smelly and outside. So you'll be kindly to bring it in, maybe brush it off a bit, and then we'll put it in the back room if that's fine with you all.
Yep. And I'll march back outside and grab a bunch of it off the donkey.
He walks kind of up with you to the door, does the classic thing like from a movie, and switches the open to close sign. He's like, we're going to have a lot to look over. Man, there's a lot of you. Who is it that has to deal with all these people? All the time. All this. He just goes back to what he was doing.
So, here's a solid gold X. And here's a solid gold Ladies Unmentionable. And here's a solid gold...
Allie's just kind of grinning the whole time. She's like, those are mine. He's like, lovely.
You could probably get extra for those. Don't melt them down. There's some weirdo out there.
He does like a moment like he's in disgust, and he kind of stops and goes, yeah.
I'll just put all these pounds and pounds and pounds of gold.
I'll add my 10 pounds of gold, Mike. So I guess we could make that part of it.
You have your 10 pounds of gold?
I had it separate. Remember, I broke rock from the side of the building and just did that. So, because heaven forbid. So it was 10 pounds. So I guess I'll make it part of this thing to not be carrying around 10 pounds of gold anymore.
Yeah. So.
But I was gonna let Ryan do all the negotiating.
Okay. So Jason, basically, he's going to. Hold on 1 second. And you're taking a gem too. You're gonna take gems to do this too as well. Well, cause actually, he's not giving you guys cash. He doesn't have cash to give you. So he gives you 33 gems worth 10 gold pieces each. Okay. I don't remember the type of gem they are, but he gives you.
Yeah. 33 gems worth 10 gold pieces each.
Now, there could be an exchange rate problem on the other side, so you just never know. I did do the math of all your stuff.
We had 1,000 pounds of gold.
Was it 1,000? Is that what it ended up being?
It's 500 each, yeah.
For you and Allison?
Yeah.
Well, but I know it was the maximum whatever Tensor's floating diff could carry. That's what I got to check.
So I thought it was 1,000.
I think it's 500. But
and then it's 500 pounds of gold.
Yeah, I'm just checking real quick. Let me see here. Because I wrote down the items, but I didn't do all the gold. But I basically figured that's what I mean. That girl stripped up everything. Yeah, it was 500 gold. So yeah, so you guys 250 pounds of gold each. I assume you're just being on it. You're going to split it with her straight up. I mean, she's very effective with you. So yeah. All right. So hold on. He's like, he scoffs at it. He's like, even seeing it in your head, I did not realize how much it really would have been.
Yeah, I didn't either. I didn't look at it all that often, so.
Every night.
He says, is there any particular types of gems you want? Or just how it works out?
We'll just, take some big bills, and then, we might take a little in cash so we have some spending money.
But he's like, there is no cash. I will only give you gems. There's nothing I can...
Give us some of the tiny gems.
Okay. So he gives you 500 so 50 10-piece gems. and then he gives you 2 just big, like diamond emerald that are each worth 8,000. So it's 16,500 gold pieces worth of gems, basically.
Okay. I will split it with Allie.
Because it was 25,000 total gold, and then his third made it down to 1650, and then so. She's like, we can keep it together for a while. That doesn't bother me.
All right, that's fine.
And then just 2 8K diamonds.
Yeah, so 33% isn't bad. I'm talking he's going to have to get this stuff smelted and everything, and then they're going to take a piece of it, so so there's going to be cost in there, so 33% is pretty darn good. Yeah. Thank God this isn't my Tuesday group. They'd be like 33%. Like, why aren't they doing it for free? They're the ultimate capitalists. They never want to pay taxes, they never want to pay for services, they never want to pay for anything. Nothing. Everything should just be free.
That's hilarious. I'm gonna run to use the restroom real quick and get something to drink. It is 11:15. I don't know where you guys are at time wise. I realized this role play session. I knew the town would be more role play. Sorry, that was a surprise. I don't know, but that town I expected to be more of a role play scenario than necessarily.
That's fine.
Yeah,
you're fine.
Situation. So, but I'm gonna go do that real quick. I'll be right back. So.
I got a question for Ryan and Chris anyway.
Sure, go ahead.
But did you guys have your kid circumcised?
I did, but oh my God, was it a deliberation or not? I mean, do you know, like, our country now, it's 50-50 down the middle, and there's
Andrew just told me that. Yeah, that's why I asked, because
we went back and forth and back and forth. Carol was like, probably no, I don't, and I'm like, well, I was, and I don't know if that's like a Catholic thing or whatever, I don't know, and then eventually the doctor that delivered the baby. She was the one that kind of like swayed us. She goes, well, I have 2 boys and they're both circumcised, but I didn't do it for religion. I didn't do it for belief. I didn't do it for anything. I did it because I'm a doctor and I think it's just cleaner. It's easier to clean. Imagine being a boy and trying to clean, like, it's going to be a problem. I mean, it doesn't have to be a problem, but it could be a problem, whatever. So we just went ahead and did it.
Sarah and I went back and forth too. The best advice I got was from a lady that I worked with at the time, and she said, whatever you are, your son should probably match.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's what she said. She's like, so whatever you got going, she's like, you don't have to tell me. Whatever you got going, have you and your son match. That way, they don't get a complex over it or anything.
Okay.
I agree with that too. But I mean, we went back and forth for at least a month.
We went back and forth up until the procedure happened. Like, we were going back and forth, and I went home to get some sleep because I had been up at the hospital for a couple days, and Sarah fell asleep, and apparently they just came in and took a procedure. We were probably going to do it anyway, but they just kind of took the kiddo and did the procedure.
Interesting.
They were like, walked in, they're like, yeah, we're going to take him for the circumcision. And I think my mother-in-law was there, and she's like, oh, okay. And then they just took him away. And it was done.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. He doesn't seem to care.
Won't even feel it.
That's a good point.
Calm down.
It's like, calm down. You chopped off part of my dick.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. Oh, now he goes and shuts the door. That's his new thing. He gets mad and he goes and shuts the door.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a learned behavior?
Oh. Totally.
Is that what Carol does? Slap! Yeah, I walked downstairs and there were just like 2 percentages on the board. There was like a date and a percentage and a date and a percentage. And I was like, sweetie, what are these? And she goes, oh, is this a podcast? They're circumcision percentages. And I'm like, oh, okay. Oh.
She feeling? Is she all right?
She's good. She's up late. Surprised she's not in bed yet, but she's doing okay. She's putting up with my cranky ass. So
She's not getting any like weird cravings or anything like that.
no,
Like
she's
pickles
pretty
and ice
good.
cream or whatever.
No, nothing crazy along those lines. So
Sarah used to eat the one thing that grossed me out that she ate during pregnancy, and she only ate it during pregnancy. And I don't know why. It's not the grossest thing in the world, but it just grossed me out. She liked, what is it, like crushed ice?
yeah,
And then she would pour milk on it and eat it with a spoon like cereal?
that's weird. That's
So
not that
weird.
It just seems weird. It's kind of like, why would you do that? Like, just drink milk or just
And
yeah,
she
that's just
couldn't
weird.
explain it, but she just had a craving for that.
Yeah.
Like,
What did
it
they
had
say
to have the
crushed ice
crunch,
was?
and it had to have the milk. And she wasn't a milk drinker before it. She's not a milk
Right.
drinker now.
Right. It was only then. That was how
It
she
was
wanted
during the pregnancy, and she would do it, and for some reason, it would just gross me out. Like, she'd just be sitting with a bowl, like, eating this
I mean,
watered down, milky... Oh, and she would do it with skim milk, too, so it's already watered down
so
and gross.
watered down. Oh no, that's that's not.
that doesn't sound good.
Fucking gross.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know.
That was the only thing that, like, got, that really got to me. That was
Jill
just
didn't really have any real cravings. Really, she just whatever she liked before she got pregnant, she wanted to like all the time. So whatever your like favorite food was, that's all she wanted. So she wanted like Vietnamese food like all the time. She would always call her mom, "Mom, can you make me whatever?" And then so mom would make. Well, not mom would always make it, but sometimes, or she'd just
Right.
always go to a Vietnamese restaurant.
Oh, okay, well that's cool. Yeah, I mean, Sandra hasn't been that particular about what she's eaten or anything like that. So
All right.
Just wait till she starts nesting. I think that's the cutest phase.
the cutest phase.
Nesting toward the end.
Oh yeah, what does that mean? What does that look like for you guys, Carol?
That's
What does
where
that look
like she'll do like random things that won't make sense like right away to you, but it'll be like she's in her mind she's preparing for the future of the baby. So she'll
Yeah.
like, say just for example, she'll just put like one pillow in the nursery, and you'll be like, okay, yeah, I mean, I guess pillows go in the nursery, but it'll be in like some like grand scheme plan.
Oh, okay.
I just remember towards the end, like, we spent a good part of a Saturday, like, probably 6 hours plus, in Addie's room before he was born, putting the damn crib together. It was mostly me, and I just had the computer in there, and we were watching, like, YouTube videos, like, not on that, just random YouTube while we put this fucking thing
It's
together.
not that complicated.
So I just remember that it was a fun day. Like, I just
Yeah.
remember that. Like, it was a fun day, but like, yeah, that was just, and like, where do we put it in the room, and like doing all this like kind of like adjusting.
Yeah. Well, we got the nursery roll. Mike, this all started. I don't know if you heard, but I asked if they had gotten their kids circumcised. So that's been
Oh, gotcha.
the spiral. So I didn't just ask them for advice when you walked away. So
Well, that's fine. I'm not. That's
hey, I want to hear what you guys do with the kids. I want to hear about Mike and his kids.
Now, what he asked me and Ryan is like, what is it like to be a good dad?
I understand. That makes perfect sense. I would
Yeah,
definitely go with that. So, what is it like to like really love your children? No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, we got the crib actually. We were supposed to set it up a couple days ago, and part of it was broken. Like, it got really fucked up in shipping, right? So then we write them, and they're like, yeah, just, cool, thank you. Oh, okay, yeah, you sent us everything you needed to send us. We appreciate it. We'll be, sending you out the part. Next email. So it appears that this part is indefinitely on back order.
Of course it is.
So the only
Because of
way...
COVID.
The only way that you can get a new one is to pack up the whole crib and ship it back to us. And then we'll ship you a whole new crib, because whatever. Just go fuck yourself. So yeah, so then I had to pack up the whole 75 or whatever 80-pound crib in the stupid box that it came in, which is, thank God I saved to whatever extent I did. But yeah, so I sent it today, and it'll, come back when it comes back. So yeah, the thing I had Austin carry upstairs with me, Chris, I'd take downstairs by myself and then carry it to the truck. I mean, I can do it, but I don't know what weak smaller people do to get through things. I swear to God, I don't know, because half the shit I move, I know a lot of people can't move, and
I know.
Well, I had a very similar, I forgot what I was. I bought the outdoor fridge that I have, the small fridge. And again, not to usually claim me, but I remember I went to Sam's Club. They had like 3 of them, and the 2 in front, like the boxes were torn and broken. And I looked back, and I'm like, that box in the back is in great shape. And like, I'm just big enough from a size difference, and then just a little stronger, I guess, than maybe some. I was able to grab the 2 in front, pick them up, and move them out of the way, to then reach and grab the 1 in the back. And I just had that kind of same, and then I picked it up and put it in my cart. Like, I could pick it up and then put it in the back. Now, height helps a lot with the cart than anything else, but yeah, it was like a weird thought I had, like...
How do other people, like, manage? Like, seriously, my wife asks me to do shit all the time, and I'm like, you're lucky you have a strong husband, because, like... This is tough for me to do, so I know, like, other people couldn't do it. I just know they couldn't. There's no way they could do it.
What if somebody was half your size? There's no way they could carry anything, right?
Right. I mean, I'd be asking people for help all the time.
Yeah.
Or something. I've gotten lazy, though. I probably could have just been doing stuff the smart way their whole life, but, like, Sandra wanted to move around to, like, the living room and stuff, and I said, like, we had this one shower rug she can't stand, but it's red, and the bottom of it is like really sticky, and then the top of it is all like really long, like fibers and stuff. But that is the best thing to move anything in my house with the tile and the flat floor. I turn that thing upside down, and I put anything on it, and I slide it everywhere because I've gotten lazy as hell. So I did that on one side with like another thing, so I didn't have to move the couches around, like, because I was like, I'm tired of moving stuff. I'm tired of picking everything up. So yeah.
I have a wife from Maine, and she moves everything. It's weird. She'll just like pick up like a fucking couch, or she'll figure out somehow to move it.
To get it moved.
Like I come home and everyth's rearranged, and I didn't do any of it.
I think that might be like a northeasterner like mindset, because I think in Matko is that way. Like our grandmother, like she's a tenacious old woman. She just would move everything constantly. I'm not saying Sarah's old. I'm not saying that. Whoa.
No, because what is it? Beth's the same way. Like, and they came down together. I remember we were moving Sarah out of her house or her apartment, and my dad was there, and he was just like, "Jesus, these girls really know how to move," because they were just like lifting dressers and shit, and like my dad expected us to have to do all of it, and they're like, "No, we're from Maine. Like, we have to pick up shit. Apparently,
we move stuff.
Because when it's cold and we're stuck in ice, we got to figure this stuff out. We're doing this now."
They're just hardier folk.
What is this? Hold on, this is weird. This is a weird phone call. It's from a bank.
We heard you're interested in a Tesla.
Yeah, no doubt.
No, that's Gwen Stefani.
9, 8, 2, 2, 1, 3.
I did see a video. What's the best Tesla? What's that called? What's the model name?
Model S Plaid is the fastest.
Plaid, that's it. I saw like a 10-minute video and how fast this sucker is. It's a beast.
Yes. Less than 1.9 seconds, or right at 1.9 seconds, 0 to 60. I mean, it's stupid fast. Quarter mile in like 9 seconds or something like that. It's stupid. So.
You should tell Christina you're buying that.
Yeah. No.
Okay. You should be having a midlife crisis by now.
Well, I should have had it a couple years ago, I'm pretty sure, because if you're thinking
but you got to catch up to that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of these things. So
I just traded my my Altima for Subaru MRX. Anybody know cars?
Yeah. Okay. Are you a lesbian?
No, it's a sports car.
It's a Subaru, my friend.
I know.
It's okay. What do you got there, Jason? Sorry, as I see a Bucks.
That's all news.
It's the Bucks.
Stories.
It's the 100% vaccinated that we were talking about. I
Oh,
guess.
yeah, the
So I
Bucks.
guess that was today. So, I guess per the last little blowout, I guess they were like, "You fuckers need to go get vaccinated." I guess, or
When they say
or maybe.
100% of the Bucks, what do they mean by 100%
Oh
of
yeah,
the Bucks?
yeah. You gotta go back to. It says actually, Mike, every Buccaneers player, staff member, and coach is now vaccinated.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
they're
But
very
not every
specific
member of the
on who they
organization,
are.
though. But not
No,
every member
correct.
of the organization.
Not every member of the organization. So Mike, so Ryan, I don't think you know that. I don't even know if Chris knows this, right? So obviously, I mean, I didn't get a ring for the Bucks, right? So that was a sore point for me, right? But more so than that too, I guess, right? So they posted something on their Facebook a little while ago how they were really happy that the rings came in, so every member of the Bucks organization has been
Yeah.
provided
It said
with a ring.
it said
right?
something like
But
the thing is
that's-
completed.
so-
Every member of the organization has their ring. Now let's go get another one. And I was like,
So
not
then-
every member. Good.
So Mike, the little like paragraphs, and so you see liked, oh loved, and then one angry for a dislike, and it's Mike, and he's got this paragraph that's on there, and then I mean, one of the guys on the squad actually posted something and shared it and stuff, and ended up having to miss a game and was reprimanded for it. But obviously, I don't know whatever extent it would go with this, but don't really care too much. But I did have my wife did like it. I said, honey, I need you to not like it. I mean, the fact that Mike posted it is fine and whatnot, but I have plausible deniability until you go and you like
Right,
it.
because I'm your crazy brother. You can't control me. Well, I have this last name. There are other mutuals out there. So
Yeah,
I could be a
right,
cousin.
yeah.
I could be anything. But yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so it was just kind of humorous. So it's
You're
it's
like
up there somewhere.
you're like Billy Carter, you know.
Did you see the Bucks guy? Where he had twin boys and he wants a second ring for his other kid?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, thought that was
Yeah.
pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah, he has to get another one this year because his one kid's jealous or
Right.
whatever it is. Yeah. But yeah, so that's
Well, there's a rumor that I'm going to have a ring soon too. So what?
yeah.
That's
Yours
just a rumor. We all know
is
Jason
gonna be better
is
than mine,
absolutely
and yours is gonna be
That
better than
sucks.
the replica as well too. Actually, so I'm
Um,
waiting for it to come in. I just checked recently, so
is
I mean it'll be
This one my
like 5
father-in-law
days.
got me for my birthday.
Oh, very
He's
nice.
a Buccaneer. So this is the one now I need to get signed.
Yeah,
So-
I'll look for an opportunity, Mike. They're not signing shit this year.
Well-
like I even have kids at the I feel so bad too because so many people are going to the game because they're all excited, and I'm like, y'all, like the Bucks aren't signing shit, so don't hang out to get stuff signed. And don't
I guess
whatever,
yeah, that sucks. There's definitely
but very limited.
isolate. Yeah, it really seems to be. I might have a weird. I don't know. Ben, my brother-in-law, does all those elevators for people, and I guess he's
Yeah.
now been to Jeter's house to put those elevators inside of his house, which of course is where Tom was renting. And I guess there's a rumor that Tom might be wanting to get it in his new house, an elevator put in. And
Okay.
so I was like, Ben, don't lose your job. But Ben is Ben, so I don't know. He's like, Tom's not there. Like Giselle wasn't there the last time. It was some other like house person that was
Yeah.
there, I guess. But Ben's very schmoozy. He's very personable, and
Yeah.
he just kind of like, hey, will you get this signed for my brother-in-law if I bring this ball back for you, and
Yeah.
whatever. I don't know. So I keep just tell him don't do it. Don't do it, because don't
Don't
upset.
hurt your job.
Yeah. But I think there's a little bit of like a pride thing there too. He's like, oh, I can get this done.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Don't
it's like
do
a
that. Don't do that. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see.
oh, cool. Yeah, I'll keep an eye out.
But
Obviously,
yeah,
for
I-
anything.
and
I mean,
I'm looking.
if they were doing anything, one of the things I would have brought up was, I know you guys, we work all these functions, which are opportunities where people can go and actually get stuff signed. It'd be really cool if you gave us the same offering, that we could possibly do. I mean, just for us personally or whatever. I mean, obviously we're not going to come in with 45 items to have signed, whatever it is. But, we do miss out on the fan experience sometimes because we do what we do. And it would just be nice to be able to do that. So,
Okay. Sorry. Back to the. We'll finish up. I guess probably this thing real quick. Is there anything else you guys wanted to do on your way back to Fiona's house? And then we'll probably. Is there anything else you guys wanted to do?
I'm good. I don't need anything.
Okay.
I don't know. It would be realistic to try to do it. I don't know if we'll be able to have a town or something like that. Mike, I really wanted to try to get myself, if it was possible, some sort of goggles of night, but I don't know how realistic that's going to be in this town with so many dark vision people and all that shit. So,
You'd have to go to a certain like oddity shop.
yeah.
And did you tell Fiona? That would be something like Fiona could say. We could try to see if there is like mystical, magical. Because the thing is, everything here is run by Fiona. She's like, well, it's the Celestial Sisterhood, which is the hags. They are the controllers of the magic here. We are in their trade section, which they rule for the most part, or oversee, I should say. We can go to one of their larger groups.
I don't like the hags. I don't like the hags.
They're the controllers of the magic here in this town.
I don't like the hags.
I could try to.
I can deal with a snake face woman, but I can't deal with hags. So, what's that? Yeah,
It's
sorry.
a snake face woman talking to you right now too. So,
No, I know, right? Yeah.
It helps that she's really attractive. Like you almost see past the snakes, almost. She says we could try to go to. There's some Onis. We could try to talk to them, if you wanted to. But they're.
It's something I'd like to do at some point, but I may still just let it go. I don't know how. What are Onis?
Ogre Magi.
Oh. Ogre. And we're in. Well, we're kind of in with the ogres, right? Somewhat.
Generally, and the Ogre
Generally.
Magi are more aligned with the Emperor, as far as you know.
Yeah, I could do. I'd feel more comfortable with that, I guess. Yeah, I guess we could try that out. See if
Okay,
something like that exists.
Let us go. And so she takes you to a small shop that, or actually not a small shop because the Ogre Magi rule it. You guys move through the streets, and there's two large Minotaur guards on the outside, and they look pretty buff. And you pass through the doors, big, massive doors, and in there, and she walks in, and she actually she's holding your hand actually now. Actually, one hand like on your like up on your arm, and your other hand down, like very affectionate, like pulled herself really close to you. And as she walks in, she pulls you back as you step all the way to the room. She's like, and she whispers in your ear, she's like, "You're gonna need to probably bow before him. Just they're weird on, like, crap. I forgot the word.
Call?
Like no, like tradition, but like
okay.
procedure, protocol. Yeah, but it's not like that. I can't think of the word I'm looking for.
Formality.
Etiquette?
Formality, yeah, or etiquette. Yes, etiquette. Thank you. Yeah, they're very big on etiquette. And you notice everything in here has more of like a Japanese kind of like styling.
Okay.
And then sitting behind this massive desk is this like 12-foot tall, bluish skinned guy. He's got a like top knot on, tusks coming out, and he's just like doing things as you come walking in. And there's little bells and whistles, and you smell like incense in the air. And he looks up from his desk and he's
I'll bow accordingly, right? And
Okay. And she bows with you, and she just says, "Just keep your head down. Don't look up just yet, okay?"
okay.
And she says something back in Giant. And then there's a moment. He's like, "Some ajak," and she's like, she pulls you up. She stands you up with you. So,
Just an FYI, my computer might shut down any moment. It's running low on battery. I left my charger at work today, so I will.
Okay.
I
That's
might
all right.
be.
Well, I'll fast forward some of this stuff, I guess, a little bit, or try to like. And then she says something back to him in Giant. He says something back to her in Giant, and then after a bit, he looks over, looks down at you, and he says, "You do not speak big tongue."
No, I do not.
But she claim you honorable, and he knows he's got his red band above his yellow band on his arm. Like they're close, but they all have their red band above it, but like his is like significantly bigger, and his yellow one's like real down, like close to his elbow. But she says you pledged allegiance to Sophilus.
That's the Emperor, right?
Yep.
Just to make sure. Yes, I say yes.
what you want.
I find I have a need to be able to see in the darkness at times, and I lack that ability. I'm hoping that perhaps maybe there is something that
He
that you
was
may be
supposed to
able
be
to.
other cleric, and he points at Domino. He different cleric you could see at night. He changed mind. His fault, not mine. just kidding, Chris. I don't know if Chris got that.
Yeah, because he was a different cleric in the beginning.
And then Chris
That's right.
disappeared.
But, no, I never changed. I'm still the
No,
same.
but that was my joke because you were going to talk about doing the Twilight cleric, and I was like, that was one of the powers you would give everybody dark vision.
Right. I remember.
And somehow this guy knew that.
I was just making a joke. Yeah, he didn't.
No, I know. I just think it's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, we lost Rye. This I can make for you, but not cheap.
I did not expect it to be so. I think it requires some power and life, some power in order to do. But cheap is different to different people. What might you think? And I don't know. Maybe I'll just wait till he says whatever it is, I guess. But
What are they called? What are they called? Hold on. Goggles of Night, I think.
yeah, Goggles of Night 5e. I've seen a couple of different things. I did that before I ever asked you because I didn't want to waste our time if it was something crazy.
Let me see here. Let me just do it this way, I guess. Rarity.
I guess I would say I'll show him. I mean, if I don't know if it makes it easier for you, Mike, or whatever, not. But I would say I feel as if 10 of these gems might be a worthwhile price, but I'm not sure at how you might set the value.
They're 10 gold piece gems though.
Yeah, so it'd be. Oh, what did I just say there? That doesn't make sense.
So you're gonna give them 100 gold.
No, that's wrong.
Okay.
So I got 330 gold piece total from the 10 pounds.
Correct.
Okay.
You got 33 gems worth 10 gold pieces.
Yeah, I gotcha. Whoops, I just messed up.
There's a bunch of different gem types there that fit. So.
Yep, yeah. So that was my bad. Oh well, then I'll just let him go forward. That was my bad. I actually thought I had some other gems too. I was trying to look through what we had. Try to make it an easy thing, but
He says, "I do for 50,000 Roku."
so like 500 basically, right? Gold pieces or whatever on that. Right?
Yep.
No, fucking that up.
Yep. This guy's retarded. Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, there's a guy online that I
The
was
one for like
I was
1600 or something. There was this other thing that is like blown out. Like that makes no sense.
This guy says,
Or, I
here's
mean,
the
no, it's a
DMG
cool
prices,
item,
here's
but-
here's the Xanathar's guide prices, and you should charge, if the Boots of Winterlands, like the DMG has it for 300 gold, you should charge 10,000.
Right?
What?
Yeah.
It's an
I
uncommon
saw
magic
that.
item.
Yeah.
This is
like
dumb.
that's obnoxious.
These guys do a dumb thing sometimes. I was just looking for
So-
somebody's range, like to make
Yeah,
sense.
right. Yeah. So I'll say something along the lines of, I respect your amount and I would agree to this. Do you know when I may be able to obtain from you?
He says something to Giant, and Giant, it's a little like curt, but his voice is kind of curt to General. And she kind of steps in front of you and like puts her arms around you and like stands like directly in front of you and pulls down her mask a little bit and is staring straight at him. She says something back to him in Giant, and her words have some venom. Like the way she says it was nasty.
You just tell. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and she's like, he like looks at her, and his eyes widen, and then you notice that his body gets really. He like lifts his hands up, and he like looks down at his hands, and he's like shaking, and he realizes that he's getting like, and then he suddenly stops, and looks down at her, and he blinks several times, and she like she pushes her body up against you, where she's like kind of pushing you back, like she's walking backwards, like pushing into you.
Okay, then I'll kind of. I mean, I'll take her lead.
But she's like she's holding on to you, so you're like she's not ready to run away. She's just like,
okay.
we'll give him a step. We're just gonna give him some space, but
Yeah.
you don't have this coordination yet to do this.
Do that, right?
And like she's like in her princess gown too, because I just think it's funny when she's like in a big princess gown, because her cloak's opened up and she's all princessed out, and here she is standing on this oni. And he looks down, and he looks back up, and he says something in much calmer giant than he said before. And then he looks to you, and in common he says, 2 nights, okay? And she gives you a reassuring squeeze like of the arm. She's still staying in front of you.
Yes, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
And then she turns around and like she's just facing you, and she looks up at you, and her eyes are very blue now, and she affectionately like pats your side. She's like, okay, we're gonna walk out of here and not look back. Okay? He's not gonna give you a writ. You're not gonna give him anything. We're just gonna walk out of here, and when we come back in a couple days, he will hopefully have the item. I think he will. And we'll talk outside. And she just
turn. I'll walk next to her side by side, and
she's just got her arm around you, and just you guys walk straight out. As you get outside, she says, I know you didn't mean to, but he took offense that you were basically demanding his time in a weird way, and he said something about wanting to like, I as fast as I could boil your bones in oil and eat your flesh or something. It was really grotesque what he said, and I just basically, I don't know. I mean, like Baldwin said, I was like, you're like, I mean, I'd like to think that you're kind of like a friend. I don't know. I don't really have friends. I don't know. But I just thought, no, like I'm not going to let her hurt you. And you've been nice and everything like that. So I just told him that if he wanted to touch you, he'd have to go through me. And I called upon the honor of my father's name and the guard and how everything we've done and how we've been in service of Solthis, and that he was defying his allegiance to Solthis, and that if he really wanted to do it, he could be a statue in Solthis's treasury for the rest of his life. And I stared the hardest stare I've ever stared. And I think he resisted it, but I think I shook him. And I don't know if he knew I could do it again or not. But I can't. I'm very drained. She kind of falls into you a little bit as she says, I'm very drained.
I'll just say I thank you. I obviously did not mean that. I was trying to be as...
I know you didn't. I don't... You just oddly... Well, I mean... She smiles. She pats your cheek affectionately. She's like, I really like all of you. But I don't know if you can tell. No one else really likes you.
Yeah. No. Oh, I can tell. So it's also one reason why I almost didn't even want to try to do this, but it keeps coming up as a problem for me. So I wanted to get past it if I could. So.
Sure. I understand. And I wish I could help you besides just being a translator and kind of staring down giant Onis.
We'd be totally lost. That was like, amazing.
Yeah, she's actually like kind of feeling a little like surge of like, she's like, I just stared down a big fat Oni and just, I told him what for.
Let's limit that to once a week.
Yeah, we have probably a good point. That's good. She's like rubbing her eyes. She's like, I am actually really tired. I wonder if my dad would be proud.
I think we've done a lot today. I think we can probably head back to
let's get back
wherever you need to go. And I don't know if we need to buy anything to bring back with us. There's probably more people than you expected before.
It is, but it's
the last time you had goods dropped off.
That's true. We did eat all the food I have actually between last. I did cook everything I had, but I didn't know what else to do, and I was just so excited to have you all. But yeah, that's probably a good idea. We should probably go buy some stuff. I mean, and now we're out, we can go buy some stuff. Oh, and she just kind of like peels back her hood completely because she's like, well, I can't accidentally do anything to anybody now. And like she's just staring you straight in the eyes, and just you see her eyes are just very, very blue now. She's like, it's kind of nice. I can look right at you. So I just have to try to turn someone to stone.
Just once a day.
Just once a day.
First thing in the morning. Problem solved.
Yep.
It's like there's a mechanic at place.
It is. It's really bizarre. Yeah, it's just, she's very affectionate. But she's very also kind of naive. I don't know. I'm trying to, yeah. So, all right. Well, I guess we'll go and stop there for the night because I don't know where Chris went. So,
Chris is here.
Ryan.
Ryan.
oh, okay.
Ryan.
Oh, Ryan's
Ryan
gone. Oh, it just messed up my video when that happened. That's what happened. Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's strange.
And he kept saying that. I'm like, Chris is right here. So.
Chris, Brian, what's the difference?
Well, no, it's just you'll see it on the stream if you guys watch the stream.